What's going on, everyone? It is Super here and welcome to another Injustice 2 video. Now, we just got gameplay for Gorilla Grodd, Scarecrow, and Firestorm, so I kind of wanted to hop on here and give you guys my first impressions on those characters and pretty much like rate them on my, I guess, wanting to play them, my how much I'm looking forward to playing these characters and how I feel about them. So before I do that, as always, if you guys do enjoy the Injustice 2 content, make sure you guys leave a like rating on the video. It really helps out, and it only takes 1 segundo. So here we go. Let's start off from the first character to the last character. So the first one was Gorilla Grodd, and I'm gonna try to keep this video short because I have a list. Like, whenever I watch the Watchtowers, I have a notepad out and I write down all the highlights, all the stuff that caught my eye for the specific characters. And of course, I'm just going to be talking about the base character. I'm not going to go into any gear moves or anything like that. So let's start off with Gorilla Grodd, and I'm liking his gameplay a lot more than I did when I first saw what he was all about. And he pretty much he still retains the same playstyle, but I don't know, the moves look better. I'm more into the character now than I was before. Maybe they added a bunch of extra moves that I like more now. I can't remember all the moves that Gorilla Grodd had before, but he just looks more interesting now. And he's just a rush down character. That's it. He wants to be in your face. He wants to rush you down. He has a lot of combo strings that have grabs in the middle of them, and some of them do damage, and some of them you could actually meter burn to pop your opponent up to extend the combo. So he definitely just wants to be in your face, doing as much damage as he can because he's a heavy hitter. If he touches you, he's going to take a lot of damage from you. He has this one command jump, which is really interesting because from the command jump you could actually do multiple things. It's like a full screen jump in. You could control whether you go to the middle of the screen or you go full screen, and you could do a jump in punch, jump in kick. Any of his jump in attacks you could do off his commands jump. But the interesting thing is he has a command grab that he could do in the air that is, I don't think it doesn't look like a command grab. It looks more like a pounce, but it's unblockable, so it's kind of like a command grab. But the point is, after this command dash, you could actually do this unblockable pounce where he grabs you, and if you meter burn that, you could get a combo extender. It pops your opponent up. But the interesting thing is, of course, if you knock your opponent down and then you find a way to get this command dash or command jump to time it perfectly for your opponent's wake up, there's a good chance where your opponent could be waking up to an unblockable pounce, which is going to be really, really strong. And I guess depending on how it actually works, it could be one of his strongest tools. So that's definitely something that I noted. It's really powerful. He has a charge move, like a Bane style charge move where he crawls to you, and of course that's somewhat of a combo ender. It does damage, but you could cancel it as well. So you could like fake, like if you're gonna do the special move, and cancel it. And his trait is really interesting. He gets a bunch of different powers, including levitating. You could actually forward dash from the levitate. You could cause an explosion. But the most interesting one that I saw was, I think if you press down 3 when you have your trait up, he like hits the ground and it creates a force field around his body that absorbs all projectiles. It wasn't only 1, 2, 3 projectiles, it was every single projectile that Dr. Fate was throwing at him, and it's his way of getting in. So if the opponent is still trying to zone you out when I have my Gorilla Grodd character trait and I have my special move activated that puts a force field around myself to absorb projectiles, all those are just gonna hit me and do no damage and just disappear when I'm charging at you. So that's like his best way to get in, because of course he's a big character, he's slower, His jump is really, you know, he just hangs up there. He has a really nice jump too, though, which turns around and actually hits your opponent when you're crossing up. I think that's going to be really good for players to use. But overall, I was really impressed with Gorilla Grodd. I wasn't looking forward to him too much when the game first was shown, but now I definitely want to try him out. Moving on to Scarecrow. Now, Scarecrow is one of my favorite characters in the game because I do love his design, but mostly, I'm just gonna be honest, because Robert Englund is the voice actor of Scarecrow, and I get attached to voice actors that I like voicing characters, especially if the characters are cool. And the way Scarecrow's gameplay looks, and just the way he looks, he is awesome. I would probably say Scarecrow's in my top 5 of most anticipated characters to play, and I definitely he's definitely going to be one of my top 5s that I try out as soon as the game comes out. You know, can't wait to take him into training mode and stuff, because now that we get to see gameplay and what he's about, he actually fits in perfectly to one of my favorite playstyles, which is space control. I love playing, I'll give you guys an example. I love playing Kitana, and I love playing Shinnok in Mortal Kombat X because they control space so well, because they have long-ranging attacks. They do have zoning moves. Scarecrow isn't really a zoner, but you know, just his long-ranging attacks that control like the mid space between yourself and your opponent is a playstyle that I absolutely love. It seems like he has a lot of mid attacks, which is awesome to have in a fighting game, especially you know, in Mortal Kombat X and Justice. If you have really good mids, then you have a really good chance to pretty much beat out your opponent a lot, because if your opponent has a lot of highs and he attacks with highs and stuff like that, or he tries to poke you, you know, those mids are definitely going to catch your opponent, and a lot of his combo strings actually lead into overhead and low attacks in the middle of his combo strings, which is always good to have, you know, 50-50 mix-ups in between combo strings, especially if they start off with mids, because it seems like for Injustice they're shying away from the 50-50 combo starters, meaning overhead or low combo starters, the way they had it in Mortal Kombat X. They want, if you're gonna have overhead and low mix-ups, they want it to be like mid combo, not combo starters. So let's see, he has a full screen overhead that bounces your opponent, which is pretty fucking crazy. It does look slow as hell, but it's another tool for him to control the mid space. He has a teleport, but the thing with the teleport is it's a Raiden style teleport, so it's a down up motion, and you guys know that the reason why I don't use Displacer Raiden is because I hate down up teleport motions. But I mean, so nothing we can do about that. He has a down up teleport motion. Kind of sucks for me, but I'm sure a lot of people are really good with, you know, down up teleport motions. But the teleport is really fast, and the recovery is insanely fast as well. He has a command grab, which is, having a command grab, it just adds another dimension to your offense. So it's always nice to have a command grab for any character. And of course, you could do tick throws, you could do down one to command grab, you know, stuff like that. Now let's talk about his traits. So his trait is really interesting because the way the trait works is the trait is empty when the game starts. So when you activate it, the bar at the bottom actually starts filling up, and the more you touch your opponent with fear gas, the more it fills up, or the quicker it fills up. So if you're really close to your opponent, since Scarecrow is you know, I guess fear gas is coming out of Scarecrow, it's doing damage over time, which is filling up your trait meter. But whenever you use an attack that has the fear gas and your opponent comes into contact with it, it fills up your trait a lot faster. And once you have full trait, you get access to this full screen ground pound that is really fast, and it stuns your opponent, so you could get a combo after it. So that is definitely something cool to have, because if someone is trying to, you know, jump in on you, you could actually do it on reaction, or if someone is winding up for a zoning attack, you could do it and it stomps them, you could get a full combo from it. So a lot of Scarecrow's tools are made for, you know, the mid screen and stuff, which is definitely something that is going to be annoying to play against, but a lot of fun to play as. And other than that, I think that's it. Like I mentioned, he is definitely one of the top characters that I want to play. But moving on here to one of my top 3 most anticipated characters that I want to play, Firestorm. Now, I knew that Firestorm was going to be one of those characters that I was going to be really interested in when I saw what he has, what tools. And unfortunately, some of those tools are gear related, but that's how they do it for the trailers. They want to put as much fancy stuff as they can. So a lot of moves from trailers, you know, we shouldn't like say, oh, this is going to be awesome, because they might end up just being gear related stuff. But the base character Firestorm still looks really cool. So pretty much what I have on my notes here, it says trait equals fun. That's it. That's my whole notes for Firestorm. Of course, I have other little, you know, tidbits, but the main thing is just trait equals fun, because if you get Firestorm to level 3, he pretty much gets power up on all of his moves. He gets blue flames instead of the, you know, orange flames, and he just does a bunch of stuff, but I'll get into that in a bit. But just his core gameplay, he's a zoning character, but the difference between him and, you know, Dr. Fate, which I was really disappointed about, that he's just straight up zoning, is Firestorm has a lot of tools when you're up close. He has a lot of combos that you could do, which is always fun. Combos are the most fun thing to do in fighting games, in my opinion. And when you land a ridiculously sick combo like Hunter Predator's combo, I always get excited no matter how many times I've done it. So, you know, getting combos and like going in, rushing down is my favorite thing to do. But Firestorm has it both ways. He could zone. His projectile is really fast. His EX projectile is insanely fast. It looks like it starts up at like 3 frames and it travels across the screen in like 2 frames. It's really fast. It does like 12% as well, knocks down. But he not only has zoning potential, but he has close-up potential. And one of my favorite things is, of course, his Molten Trap, which is a low attack that he could actually control far away, mid, or close. So you could use this in a combo if you want, because the regular version does not let you extend it into a combo, but the meter burn version actually creates a lava floor, so your opponent stays stuck, and the lava like traps your opponent, and it's like burning him. So you have, I don't know, it looked like 2 whole seconds to do anything you want before you could combo your opponent. It looks like that attack is like plus 300, something like that. But that is one of the ways that he could get combos. Another way is he actually has his he has a special move where he shoots out fire all around his body, like a circular, you know, ring of fire, and that is another combo extender. So like I mentioned, he has a lot of ways that you could use him in an offensive way, and not only zoning, but if you do want to zone, you can zone as well. So it looks like he's going to be a really good character, like from day one. So now let's talk about his trait, which level 1 and 2 are pretty standard. One cool thing about his trait, and I think it's going to get nerfed, I just know it's going to get nerfed, he heals while his trait is on. So not only is he doing damage to you, but he's also healing every half a second, or it looks like it's half a second. Maybe it's just level 3 that was insanely fast, but he's healing plus 1%, and that's level 1. Level 2 is plus 2%, level 3 is plus 3% every like half second. So that is really strong, because as you're getting hit, you know, you're still healing as you're getting hit. As long as your trait is active, you're healing no matter what. But level 3 is where Firestorm becomes like a fucking powerhouse, man. And I'm pretty sure that a lot of people are just gonna save up their trait for level 3, because he becomes like a whole new character. Because not only do some of his combo strings change in properties, and some of his moves change in properties, like he has an overhead that actually knocks down, but when you have level 3 trait on, it actually pops your opponent up for a combo. And not only that one, but there's also another combo string that ends in a low that pops your opponent up as well. So it changes properties on some moves, and it makes Firestorm do damage over time whenever he hits you with one of his fire blasts. So, or any fire attack whatsoever, like let's just say a fireball, for example, and it knocks your opponent down, that's doing damage over time, like stacking onto the damage that the level 3 fireball does, let's just say it does 10%. Then you get an after you hit him with that 10% fireball, you get an extra like 3% of stack on damage because you're at level 3, and you know, anytime you hit someone with a fire attack, it does damage over time. And when I think it was 16-bit controlling Firestorm, when he was at level 3, my god, the combos he was doing, it was taking off chunks of damage over time because he kept using you know, fire attacks like his fire aura thing that pops up your opponent, and the fireball to end it, and you know, different things that hit you with the fireball. It just stacks and stacks and stacks. I don't think it stacks forever. It's probably like a, you know, maybe like a 3 stacking limit. Like it can't stack more than 3 times. It works like Acidic Alien's acid spit, pretty much is what I'm trying to say. And yeah, level 3 is just an absolute monster. So I definitely can't wait for Firestorm. He is in my top 3 of most anticipated characters to play so far for Injustice 2, man. He looks so awesome, and the second gear that they showed off for him looks really fucking sick. So yeah, before I, you know, stop the video, I just want to give you guys my quick first impressions as well for Green Arrow. This was just supposed to be the 3 characters, but then I remembered, oh yeah, we got a surprise Green Arrow gameplay. So Green Arrow pretty much plays identical to his Injustice 1 self. You know, he is a legacy character. One of the big changes though is that the freeze arrow, the ice arrow, actually doesn't restand your opponent anymore. It just hits or freezes them in whatever position they are in. So let's just say if I catch Harley jumping into my ice arrow, then she's just gonna stay there in place. We're gonna see it somewhere around here. Hold on, it's coming. Oh, here we go. So he does it down 2. In midair, he does a combo. She freezes in place wherever the arrow actually hits her. So in Injustice 1, the ice arrow actually restood your opponents. Another change, or I don't know if this is a change or not. You guys could let me know in the comment section, because I didn't play Green Arrow in the first Injustice game. Is that anytime that you use one of Green Arrow's ice arrow, it actually absorbs Harley Quinn's projectile, and it goes right through and it freezes Harley Quinn. So I don't know if that's going to work with every single projectile. Like for example, if Superman you know, shoots out his projectile, is it going to work the same way, or is it only like, you know, Harley Quinn's guns, or you know, projectiles of that sort, like Deathshot's bullets? So that's going to be interesting to see. But he still has everything the same. He still has a slide, as you guys see right there. You can meter burn it. He has the electricity arrow, which does more damage, and I think that's it. It's just the max damage arrow. And I'm sure we're gonna get multiple different gadgets, you know, like different arrows that Green Arrow is going to use. I think at some point we got like a little look at one of his boxing glove arrows. I'm pretty sure it was in one of his trailers, or it was somewhere. I forgot where it was, but I'm certain we saw that. So I'm certain for his gear we're gonna get a bunch of you know, really funny and useful arrows that aren't gonna make it to his main character, but it's gonna be fun to play with you know, gear on. So that pretty much does it. Like I mentioned, not much to say about Green Arrow, just because he sort of plays identical to his Injustice 1 self, but I'm really looking forward to playing him now, because I fell in love with Ancestral Kung Jin's playstyle, and Ancestral Kung Jin's playstyle was based off of Green Arrow's playstyle, and they pretty much play the exact same way. You know, you charge one of your arrows, or you activate your arrow, and then you for Ancestral Kung Jin, it was more of a stun arrow. For Green Arrow, it's a you know, it just freezes Harley Quinn, but the properties are the same. You know, it's just something to capture your opponents so you can do whatever you want with them, you know, combo wise. So that's gonna be the end of today's video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Let me know in the comment section which out of all these you're looking forward to play the most, and I will see you guys next time. What's going on, guys? It's Super here. I hope you enjoyed today's video. If you did, make sure you guys subscribe or check out any of these videos linked at the top. Thank you, and I'll see you guys next time.